Take two. Sometimes this happens, guys. I do certain amount of minutes of an episode. I go to the ritualistic check of my podcast recording device, which I'm doing off camera. And lo and behold, it is not recording. So, great. Here we go. Second shot on this. Welcome to the Ritual Discipline Podcast. My name is Chris Naes. I'm also doing this on YouTube if you want to check out the video for the visual element of what I'm gonna show some vinyl. I'm gonna talk about a show I went to last night, and I might abbreviate things that I just talked about a little bit. But hey, man, we're just having fun here. It's all good. As I said, my name is Chris Naes. I am your host, and this is the Ritual Discipline Podcast, where I talk about music, shows, that sort of thing, and sort of usher you along in my journey of exploration of music and, sort of get a chance to show off and talk about things that I'm into. So join me, will you? And also, if you enjoy this video and or podcast, share it with your friends and family so they also can share in the joy of music discovery. So, without further ado, let's do this thing. Also, I should mention, apologize for long time in between podcasts, but I have mentioned on previous episodes my work has been completely insane recently, and I just got no time. I got no free time. So, had to take a vacation day for a show last night, hence free time today to do this. So let's talk about some new albums and that sort of thing first, and then we'll get into the show that last night. First up, Opeth, In Cauda Venenum. Hope I pronounced that right. I'm not Swedish. So, Opeth, heavy metal band, have sort of venturing into the prog sort of side of things now. I really like this album art and the setup of the sort of gatefold format. I've been a fan of Opeth for about 5 years now. Before that, didn't really dig into much of their stuff. But, of course, now I've dug into the back catalog and pretty much across the board like it a lot. New record, showing it off again. Really like it. Um, there's a Swedish version, Swedish vocal version, and an English vocal version. I prefer the Swedish, and I believe the singer and main songwriter guy also says that he prefers the Swedish version and views that as the true vision that he had for this record. So I don't know if that's a record company thing being like, hey, you should also put this out in English so that people understand you outside of Sweden. Either way, thoroughly enjoyable record out of Opeth. Quite a bit of acoustic stuff on this one, which I dig that they challenge their listeners and they don't always stick to the same thing. So definitely listen to both versions of that. Let me know which one you like better. One of the most divisive bands ever, Slipknot. I was in high school in the height of new metal. Um, this is quite a bit heavier than most new metal across the board. But it isn't everybody's cup of tea. But I've talked about my friend Brian a lot on the show. His family gifted me that vinyl, green, slime green vinyl. Gotta love it. Sounded great on my record player, even though it was made in a time when vinyl was not, you know, not even close to what it is today. Not even, I, I mean, the Slipknot vinyl, I did own it at one time, but it's been lost to the sands of time. It was like one of 3 vinyl I would ever see for sale, so take that for what it is. Next vinyl, My Vishnu Orchestra, Apocalypse. I have yet to listen to this, but found it in the bargain bin at Planet Score. Still my favorite record store in St. Louis. That could change eventually, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. $4 for some fusion. I'm really, really digging what I hear out of bands like this from back in the day. Especially My Vision. Great stuff. Plan on listening to that later today. Weather reports. Mr. Gone again on still on this fusion kick. Really digging in, checking out a lot of different stuff, but specifically pissed pissed my money away. Picked up this record because Jaco Pastorius is on it, and that's all I really need to know. I hope you guys have seen the Jaco documentary. But bass player for Metallica helped put it together, and really in-depth look into a pretty tragic story about a guy who was insanely talented. So check out Weather Report. Have yet to listen to this, but one of the I think it's the latest thing that Cross Exam has put out. It was an EP a few years ago, or a couple, maybe 2 years ago. Hail to the Jeep, I think it is. I should know that. I am a fan, but long storied history of bands that I was in playing shows alongside Cross Exam, and of course, Cross Exam is highly respected in the heavy metal community as they should be. There is a band or two out there that have blatantly ripped off Cross Exam's entire thing. Gimmick, songs, everything. They shall go unnamed on this podcast. I don't like to shit on bands necessarily, but a blatant ripoff is a blatant ripoff, and that's all there is to it. And I'm off my high horse right now. Moving on. Flying Colors' latest Third Degree. A really cool, classic prog-looking album cover. This album really surprised me in that it is not quite anything like what they've done before. It's the Flying Colors is a hard band to describe to people. It's prog, but with a pop sensibility to it. Every band member brings something to the table, and you really hear all of them in these songs. They're as a fan of, generally speaking, everybody in this band, I can pick out things, styles that one member had brought, and it's very well weaved together. It doesn't sound like a hodgepodge at all. Really enjoyed this record. Please check it out. And let's see. So this record is out in my car, so I can't show this off for the camera, but I will hold my phone up to the camera. Flower Kings, Waiting for Miracles. Also, some guys involved in the Portnoy Club, but Rowan Stolt is the main songwriter for Flower Kings. He's a Swede, and he's also in Transatlantic, who are getting ready to put out their record sometime this upcoming year. Flower Kings are great. It's really a throwback to classic prog. Think Yes. Think some of the more heady Beatles stuff. Just really good. I would definitely recommend listening to Waiting for Miracles. It's a double record, but I was kind of bummed. So what happened is I ordered it airmail from Sweden because I like to order direct from the artist anytime possible. Which is cool because I got the Swedish stamps. You can see them. Kronor is their currency, and I just really nerd out about little stuff like that. I don't let little things like that get past me. So anyway, The second disc is not a full disc. It's 30. It's 25 to 30 minutes. It's only half of the length that could be covered on a CD. So that was the only thing I was kind of bummed by. I was hoping for a full double disc album. Listen, it's a small gripe. There's a lot of really good tunes on it. That's all you need to know. Too much for one disc. They could have tossed out those songs that I thought were also quality. Who knows what they would have even thrown out? I don't know that, but um, all that to say, great record. Check it out. And last but not least, one of the bands I saw last night. So I guess this will dovetail right into a sort of mini show review. New record by Bent Knee, You Know What They Mean, came out last month, something like that. I had not really heard of them before them putting out You Know What They Mean. Female vocalist, female backup vocals. She's that uh, lady in the band is also on bass. I get some Mars Volta vibes from them. I get just a really interesting take. I feel that the main singer's range, reminds me a lot of Freddie Mercury, but she's a female. Um, I don't know. Even being able to compare a singer that I got to see live to Freddie is is unreal. We were actually, I went to see the show at Food Bar last night. Bent Me opening up for Thank You Scientist with a couple of really good friends of mine, Adam and Kyle, and we all had a blast. But immediately following Bent Me's set, we just discussed how floored we were by everything that happened during that set. Guitarist is actually from St. Louis, so that was kind of cool. Little tidbit. I got some FaceTime with the singer directly following her set, and you know, here's another thing I gotta mention. Apparently, I can't go to shows now without getting emotional. Maybe I'm just like on a roll of seeing insanely good art in front of my eyes. It's amazing, and I teared up again. I twice during their set. I can't. It's unless I'm at just a straight up metal show and I'm not in the mode to fully invest myself emotionally. Um, Instead, it's more of a headbanger kind of a thing at a metal show for me most of the time. But during Bentley's set, I couldn't help myself. They played a lot of this new record, which, if I didn't say already, highly, highly, highly recommend. It's a contender for my favorite record of the year. There's a mix of styles going on. There's some hip hop in there. There's some Zappa in there. Like I said earlier, Mars Volta. It's just really wild stuff, and it all comes together. It really works for me. If they take you, see, that's the thing is they take you on a journey, and not a lot of bands are capable of doing that. It's a shame that uh, you know there's not more high art. At least I haven't discovered it of recent releases that really just blow me away that way, take you on a roller coaster. So then after they finished up their set, which as I said, they played a lot of that new record, and you just gotta hear it. If you can see them live, make that shit happen. Next was Thank You Scientist. There was another band that opened, but I don't remember the name. They were good too, more of a Floydish vibe. I'll have to look that up later on. But Thank You Scientist closed. I like Thank You Scientist. I think that they're super talented. The drums are so good. Everybody in the band is insanely talented. I do gotta say though that they played a really long time, and by the end of it, it sort of felt longish. I think that's the nature of that music, that very technical music, that it beats you up a little bit after a while. I think that is a fair criticism from some of my more metal friends who are not as into prog, is that they just don't see the what that is that pulls you in about that. I sometimes when I go to a prog show, I just like to be impressed by what the guys are pulling off, because it is really next level, or next level of talent that you're seeing on stage in front of you. So it's all a matter of taste, right? Um, who am I to say what you should absolutely love and what you shouldn't? All I can give you is my experience of this music, and that is what I hopefully have done today. Cheap plug here, and I guess I saved maybe the best for last. Uh, my band that I was in for almost, it was 9-ish, 10 years, IRIE, is getting together to do a reunion show. No real plans beyond that. I feel for myself that it would maybe be spoiling the magic to do it too much. We've had one jam already. It way exceeded our expectations for just getting together after so long not playing together. Uh, so I'm really excited for it. Suffice to say, it'll be in January, maybe first weekend of February. February 1st is a Saturday. It'll most likely be a Friday or Saturday here in St. Louis. Hope to see you there. If not, I'll tell you all about it. And I'm sure. I mean, I would like to have one or two of the guys on the show and kind of tease things and talk about the process. And I don't know. I'm a nerd about all of that stuff. Um, I was relearning, relaying out in written form formats of songs earlier today that I helped arrange in 2004. So absolute peak nostalgia kind of day today. I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to put on some records and really enjoy the stuff that I talked about that I have not listened to. I'm positive that if any of you out there go and check them out, you will like them. And with that, I will close it out. Thank you for listening and for watching on YouTube if you chose to do so. And share the show with your friends, family, coworkers. Share this music with people that you love. And let me know what you guys are into. That's one thing that I have felt is lacking in all of the podcasting stuff I'm involved with, is a sense of community. I would really like to hear from you guys more, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, while I'm mentioning the podcasting thing, if you are watching the show Castle Rock, I do a podcast about it. Search Watches on the Couch, Castle Rock, on wherever you listen to podcasts, iTunes, wherever, and it should pop up. My friend Debbie and I discuss at length episodes, really dig in. I'm a huge fan of Steven and everything he does, so we get really nerdy about it and share our experience with the show. That's Watchers on the Couch, Castle Rock. And also my friends Tim and Mike are talking about the new Watchmen series, which is, first of all, it's on HBO. You can watch it right now. It's batshit crazy, but I love that kind of stuff. I like anything art wise that is challenging. So check out all that stuff. And until next time, don't know when it's going to be, but thanks for listening and watching. Bye bye.